And so today I'd like to focus on some of your concerns that you've been having, things that you've been, problems that you've been having. So I'm actually going to be asking you quite a lot of various questions just to get a better understanding of what you would like to focus on when we work together. How does that sound?
It sounds good. Yeah.
Great. Um, what would you say are some of your concerns that you've been having?
Um, well, I feel like I've been having a lot of concerns, but like one of my concerns is that I broke my engagement with my ex-boyfriend Daniel, and ever since then I've just been feeling really, really sad, and it has caused me to feel tired and having a lack of energy. Like I don't have energy anymore to do anything, and I feel like it's been affecting my job, and I have no social life anymore. Like I'm not as social anymore with people like my friends. Like I feel like I have no friends anymore, and because they were his friends. And my father, he has a critical condition, and I'm his main caregiver, and I just don't want to be feeling tired
Mhm.
because I want to be able to help him. I'm his caregiver, so I have to have the energy to help him. And me feeling sad all the time, it's one of my biggest concerns.
I'm really sorry about your breakup. This must be a really hard time for you. You've been enduring a lot these past few months. Um, I can see some of your things that you're worried about is your health, your mental health. You've been feeling very sad, very low. Low motivation. Not a lot of energy. It's affected your work, your social life, also your relationship with your family. What would you like to what would you say you want to be like one of your main focuses for today?
Um, Honestly, I feel like I want to focus on myself. I want to I want to focus on my future and forget about the past. For me to stop thinking so negative, and
Yeah.
for me to start having positive thoughts, and instead of me feeling really sad all the time, I want to focus on myself. And for me, being able to focus on myself, I'm going to be able to focus on my family members, like my father.
Yeah, of course. You want to start not just thinking about others, but also thinking about yourself and your well-being. Of course, that's a great way to start. Um, just overall, how do you feel that this has affected your emotions?
Um, I feel like like other than feeling sad, since I am feeling sad, I don't have enough energy, and that has led me to not sleep enough of hours. So I've been feeling sad, and now I can't even go to sleep because of my I'm focusing on my thoughts, like what I'm thinking. So I've been having issues with sleeping.
You're to focus on just these thoughts that you're having that you can't even rest. So when you say you can't sleep, can you how many hours of sleep do you normally get a day, a week or a day?
So like per week, I feel like 13 hours, and per day maybe like 2 or 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, it must be also affecting your energy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Um, how would you? What kind of thoughts do you have when you're feeling this way?
I start thinking about like Daniel, my ex. I start thinking about how we broke up, and how he chose his family over me, and how he just moved to a different city instead of him staying here. But now I feel like I'm the one who has a problem, but I shouldn't be thinking that way. So I'm trying to get rid of those thoughts and for me to feel better.
For sure, these thoughts have a big toll on you. I can see that. I want to go a little bit more on how you feel it's affected you as well. How has your eating habits and everything?
Um, I'm glad that you really asked that because I don't. Ever since that happened, I lost 15 pounds, and I haven't even. I don't get hungry at all. Like I don't. So it has affected my sleeping and even my eating habits. I don't get no appetite.
So you expressed to me that it's affected your the way you feel about yourself, and you've been feeling very sad. So I do have to ask you a question, Maggie. I have to ask all my clients. I just want to know, have you been having any suicidal thoughts?
No, I would never hurt myself.
Okay.
That's against my religious, and I don't feel like no one should do that. That's not right. So even though I've been feeling sad, I would never be capable of doing that to myself.
Okay. Well, I just want you to know, Maggie, if you ever at any time start feeling that way or you start having some thoughts in that relation, please feel free to talk to me about it. I'm here for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Great. So we did discuss how when you start feeling these emotions, these symptoms, that's when right before that happens, you think about your relationship with your ex-boy, your fiance, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens, right? So I want you to maybe kind of see how these dots connect. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, you start feeling sad, you start feeling very low. You can't focus. Right before that, you explained to me what happens is that you have these thoughts of you start thinking about your boyfriend. What else do you start thinking about?
So before this situation, I was a happy person. Like I wasn't feeling like this how I'm feeling right now. I felt like everything was right. I used to love myself. I used to appreciate myself, and I just feel like I didn't have no problems at all.
Yeah.
Now that this happened, now everything's just, my feelings are just everywhere. So
yeah. So it's, of course, no one's perfect. So you want to be able to, but you would like to be able to go back to somewhat to where I used to be before, just more happier, lively person, right? Okay, I can see that. And now, because of this situation, when you feel this way, what would you say? How do you feel it affects the way you feel by yourself?
I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm just worthless.
You feel worthless. Can you let me know more about that?
I feel like I feel like he probably broke up with me because I probably stopped caring about myself at a specific point, or since he left me, I feel like now I'm just worthless to him and even to myself.
Okay. Well, do you have any, worthless is something really hard to feel. Do you have any, proof that you are worthless?
No, I think that's just more of in my thought.
Yeah,
my thinking.
All right. So I just you've been having these thoughts. So one thing, of course, we will be able to work on when we start our sessions is we're going to be figuring out how we can change these thoughts of feeling worthless and just these low thoughts, and maybe change them to more positive thoughts. Something I was trying to get to was how your thoughts of feeling worthless can lead to you feeling sad, right? No, your thoughts of your relationship breakup can lead you to feeling worthless, feeling sad. And what happens after you start feeling worthless and sad? How do you react to this?
So after I notice that I just don't have energy to even take care of my father. And I don't have, other than not having energy, like I feel like I haven't been actually taking care of myself since I don't even get hungry anymore or sleep.
Okay. So your thoughts of feeling sad and worthless made you, so your thoughts of your relationship made you feel sad and worthless, and it led to you having to, you know, not be able to focus, and then, you know, feel with at work, and then maybe with your grandfather. So it's been a hard time for you. Let's focus on a more positive outlook. Martha, how would you say this whole situation has been pleasant to you? How's it brought you a positive outcome?
Actually, now that I think about it, I feel like even this whole situation has been not how I wanted it to be. I noticed that I actually that I do love myself. I just don't know how to find myself, and like I can't let any little event like this to ruin my future. And I noticed that I love my family and that I want to get closer to them. I want to be able to still provide for my father and for me to be there with him.
Yeah, of course. So even it has brought some positive things like focusing on yourself and then focusing on your family. That's great. Just overall, from this whole situation, what have you say you've done? What have you said? What do you think you've done to improve the situation?
I feel like I honestly just have to start thinking more positive towards myself. Start thinking a little bit more about like positive towards my future, because if I start thinking so negative, then again I'm going to start having all those feelings of sadness. And that's just going to bring back memories. So I have to stop thinking about the past and just continue with my life and honor myself and respect myself.
Okay, so you've already made your own start. You already started focusing on yourself, your career. So that's a great way to, you're already making these steps on your own. I can see that some of your strengths are that you're resilient. You know, after all this, you are here to help improve yourself, your well-being. You are also very responsible. I mean, you care about your family. You're very independent. I mean, you're doing this on by yourself, and caring as well. What would you think are some of your other strengths or like skills that you have that's helped you with this this whole situation?
I feel like I'm really responsible, because even though I've been experiencing all these feelings, I feel like I've been able to manage my job. And I also been able to take care of my father. Even though my sadness has been affecting me, I feel like I have been there for him still, and I have a really good I have like close relationships with my family members, so I feel like they have been helping me, and that makes me like focus more on my strengths, so which is like responsible and caring with them.
I'm glad you have a great support system. That's really good to have, and so that's one step ahead as well. What would you say? What would you say is your understanding of the problem? What is your understanding of your main concern today?
I feel like honestly, I have to. My main concern right now is me focusing on myself. And forgetting about the past, forgetting about the whole engagement. And my concern is for me to stop thinking so negative.
So you want to move forward, and then you also want to change your thoughts of negative thoughts to more positive thoughts. Of course, that's something of course that we can work on. Since you did let me know that you've been feeling very sad, and you know you've had these emotions, I want to know how often have you been feeling sad? Like how many days a week have you feel like you've been feeling sad, down, hopeless?
I feel like maybe like 3 times or 4 times being the most out of the days for a whole week.
Alright, 3 or 4. Alright, thank you. And let's say we have a scale from 1 to 10. 1 feeling you're feeling the least distress, and 10 this whole event situation has have you the most distress. What would you say? How would you rate yourself?
I would be at a 7.
Yeah. What can we do to make it from that 7 to a 6?
I would say maybe like again like me start thinking more positive, like for me to avoiding those negative thoughts, and I feel like for me focusing more on myself will make me feel way less distressed. Yeah.
Of course. So if it is okay with you, I'm gonna assign you an activity for you so that we can work on next weekend. Next week you come. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would help me.
Perfect. So what we can do is whenever have like a notebook or a piece of paper to have with you, and whenever you start having these thoughts, these negative thoughts, like maybe like you said you can't concentrate or you just start feeling low, I want you to write them down, and just whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, those thoughts, and next time we meet, we are going to identify those thoughts and change those from a negative thought to a more positive outlook and way of thinking. Is that something you'd be okay with doing?
Yeah, I think that would totally help me.
Okay, I'm great. That's great. Thank you again for coming. I can't wait to see you in the next session.
Okay, thank you.